We knew that was going to happen.
It's not a coincidence.
Front office Lin Dunn, who's drowning fans. It's a clear shot at the Indiana Fever fan base.
If you spent any time supporting this team, any energy supporting this team, you have the right to complain.
They got handed a golden goose in Caitlin Clark that literally has been turned into a new CBA where they're all actually earning. The league has learned nothing.
That after the Indiana Fever have been getting bombed on for the front office decisions, they be getting bombed on for drafting Raven Johnson at pick number 10. Now she has a cryptic post about complainers and complaining. It is not a coincidence.
You guys were not ready for real sports fans.
What you're about to hear hasn't made its way into the mainstream spotlight yet, but according to someone very close to the situation, something major has just unfolded involving Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, and front office figure Lin Dunn. And this development could completely reshape the dynamic between the team and its fan base moving forward. Just moments ago, reports surfaced claiming that an anonymous fan of Caitlin Clark has filed a formal lawsuit directly against Lin Dunn. And the reason behind it is nothing short of explosive.
It seems like with every passing day, the WNBA becomes more of a clown show.
The entire front office got fired.
You got players out there running their mouths about fans over their money. You're drafting in a player that just drowned the fan base of the most popular player in women's sports. Indiana Fever don't seem to understand that. This Fever team double middle fingered an entire fan base by drafting Raven Johnson.
Now let's take a step back for a moment, because this didn't just appear out of nowhere. Over the past few days, tensions have been rising after Lin Dunn shared that now viral post about the 4 types of complainers.
Lin Dunn calling Caitlin Clark fans complainers, calling Indiana Fever fans complainers. What is going on?
In 2017, you didn't have any fans then, so no one was complaining.
90% of y'all wasn't making $150K a year 6 months ago.
Lin Dunn telling us to stop complaining. We know what we're doing. She just wants our money, but if we complain, be quiet.
This is bad, Lin.
You can't tell the fans how to behave. The main thing you should be doing, if you are paying attention to the comments, is not antagonizing the fan base. Listen to what they're actually saying.
On the surface, it came across as simple leadership advice, but fans weren't buying it for a second. Many were convinced it was a subtle jab at Caitlin Clark supporters, the same fan base that helped turn the Indiana Fever into the most talked about team in basketball.
You're destroying Caitlin Clark. You let her get beat up, abused by refs. You want to destroy her fan base. You're not allowing her to play her game. Of course, we're complaining.
She retweeted this. She says, love this. 4 types of complainers. When y'all were winning, nobody would watch those games. You couldn't pay anybody to watch these games. That's awful, Lynn. You know, those games were boring. Nobody wanted to watch that crap, and nobody did. Now you have fans, and they want a product that's exciting. People are going to complain. Give us an exciting brand of basketball.
And that's when things escalated in a big way. According to documents circulating among insiders, this lawsuit, filed anonymously, is built around allegations of targeted public disparagement and attempts to silence fans. In simple terms, the claim suggests that Lin Dunn didn't just push back against complaints. She effectively labeled and grouped an entire fan base in a way that harms their reputation and discourages them from speaking out. And it goes even further than that.
You are now coming at the fans because people are questioning the coaching leadership.
Complainers exist because you people in the front office make it so easy to create them with your ridiculous decisions.
The lawsuit reportedly goes on to emphasize that fans of Caitlin Clark aren't just casual viewers. They're paying customers, ticket buyers, and a major force behind the league's recent surge in popularity. According to the filing, by publicly portraying them as toxic complainers who should be pushed aside, Lin Dunn didn't just offer leadership advice. She crossed into what's being described as direct hostility toward the very consumers supporting the game.
I know gaslighting when I see it. 4 types of complainers are just a front office that doesn't like accountability from the same fans driving the league.
Think about that for a moment. The same fans who helped shine the spotlight on Caitlin Clark are now, at least indirectly, being framed as the problem. And the anonymous filer didn't hold back. One section of the lawsuit reportedly argues that Lin Dunn's remarks created a dismissive, even toxic atmosphere for paying supporters, weakening the bond between the organization and its fan base. It even points to growing frustration among fans, with some questioning team decisions and direction, suggesting their concerns are being ignored rather than addressed. The filing goes further, claiming this kind of approach could discourage fan engagement and potentially hurt the financial backing behind Clark in particular. And here's where the situation becomes much bigger. The lawsuit reportedly connects everything directly to Caitlin Clark herself, arguing that any attack on her fan base is, in effect, an attack on her brand, her market value, and her overall influence within the league. Because if you've been watching closely, you already know Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She represents a movement. According to the filing, without her and her supporters, the Indiana Fever wouldn't be anywhere near this level of relevance. So when fans feel disrespected, it's not just background noise. It becomes a real threat to the team's momentum. And that's exactly what this lawsuit is aiming to spotlight. This isn't just about a single post. It's about what that post symbolizes: a widening gap between a front office that appears disconnected and a fan base that's no longer willing to stay quiet. And if these reports hold true, this may only be the beginning.
She's coming at the fans now.
4 types of complainers.
First one, the productive complainer. This person fully engaged, offering ideas and suggestions help improve the team's culture. They are fully invested in the team's culture.
2, the venting complainer. This person is working hard, doing what is right, but is a tad overwhelmed and needs to vent to release stress.
The chronic complainer. This person always finds problems, but there are times when those problems are real. We cannot overlook this person. We need to give them the proper attention.
The malicious complainer. This person needs to be removed. They complain about everything, gossip, and destroy the team culture.
Now here's where things shift from shocking to potentially game-changing. According to that same source, the lawsuit doesn't just call out Lin Dunn for her comments. It lays out a layered legal argument that could pull the entire Indiana Fever organization into serious trouble if it gains momentum. And when you really look at it, this wasn't some emotional reaction. The anonymous filer appears to have approached this very strategically. The filing reportedly outlines 3 major claims. The first is defamation by implication. This is where it gets especially interesting. The argument suggests that even though Lin Dunn didn't mention specific individuals, her categorization of fans, particularly describing some as malicious complainers who should be removed, paints a damaging public image of a clearly identifiable group, namely supporters of Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA and the Indiana Fever were not prepared for the biggest star in the sport to arrive. They haven't learned a lot.
And let's be honest, most people felt it was pretty clear who she was referring to. The timing, the context, and the backlash that had already been building didn't make it seem random at all. According to the lawsuit, this kind of messaging from Lin Dunn frames loyal supporters, particularly fans of Caitlin Clark, as toxic, disruptive, and harmful to the team's culture. Fans were already upset about roster moves and how Caitlin Clark was being used, with many feeling the Indiana Fever front office wasn't properly building around their biggest star. Then this post surfaced, one that many saw as dismissive and condescending, and it only added more fuel to the frustration.